Do this if you find out your daughter has sneaked out of the house. Go to a Halloween store and buy fake blood. When your daughter escapes through the window, go into her room and open the window completely. She probably went out to drink alcohol and kiss boy, and she'll come back pretending she was asleep all night. But she'll notice that the window is completely open, and her bedroom door will also be open. The couch turned upside down and the house trashed. But she'll be even more scared when she sees blood trails leading to the bathroom, where she'll find you injured and tied up inside the bathtub with a sign that says, "Thanks for leaving the window open." She'll be so traumatized that she'll never run away from home again. If you're at your rich friend's house and break something, don't try to hide it. They have security cameras all over the house and they'll catch you. If you're at the beach and bury your whole body in the sand, do not do it near the water. If the tide rises, you'll slowly drown. If you're away from home and need to charge your phone, don't use public USB outlets. It's a trick hackers use to steal your information. If you're alone in a movie theater and a stranger sits next to you for no reason, pretend you're getting a phone call and change seat. It's very likely that he's a child kidnapper. If you're on a date and the girl is very ugly, but you don't know how to escape, pretend you're getting a phone call and make a sad face while crying. Your date will think a family member has died and will let you live. If you're dying in the desert, walk only at night. Avoid moving under the sun, and cover your skin with whatever you can. The heat will kill you before the thirst does. If you have to sleep outdoors, don't even think about resting on the ground. Bugs and spiders will try to crawl into your ear, since it's a warm place to lay their eggs inside. If you're going on vacation to an African country, do not put on your shoes without checking them first. Most scorpions and spiders really love hiding in dirty and dark places like shoes.
If someone attempts to suffocate you with a pillow, just turn your head to one side and you will get a small opening to breathe. If you're kidnapped and locked inside the car's trunk, simply disconnect the brake light cables to get the police to stop the car and kick the door as hard as you can to draw attention. Even if you don't have cell phone coverage, you can always contact 911 for an emergency, as your phone will be connected to the nearest cell phone tower. If you come across a large pack of wolves, don't move. They will only attack if they scare you enough to make you run. If you are dying of thirst, never consume large amounts of snow. If your stomach suddenly freezes, you could die of hypothermia. First, get the snow melted and then drink with caution.
If you are an idiot and don't know how to swim, extend your arms and legs, making a star shape to float. If you choke while eating and you're alone, jump into a big chair with all your strength. You'll release the food that is choking you. If you're at the beach and you get stung by a jellyfish, don't pee on the wound. It is very likely that bacteria will infect the wound. If you find yourself trapped in a car with no brakes, don't jump out of the window. You'll fly out so fast that you will crack your head open. It is better to downshift and stop very slowly by scraping against a wall.
If you see a woman with a very large belly, don't ask her if she's pregnant. She might just be overweight and she'll get mad at you. If you're at a restaurant and your food has a bug in it, take a quick photo of your plate before telling the staff. They might say that you're making it up, but that way you'll have proof of the insect. If you're at a casino and you get offered a free drink, don't drink it under any circumstances. It's a common trick to get you really drunk so you'll gamble all your money. If you're lost in the ocean, but you're so hungry that you want to eat your friend, ask him to tie you up with a rope. You're hallucinating from hunger and turning into a cannibal. A woman hid inside of a barrel before being pushed over Niagara Falls. She carried lead weights so it wouldn't tip over, and the strong river current shook her violently through the water, brushing against several rocks along the way. The woman eventually went over the waterfall, measuring over 100 meters tall. When she came out of the water in the barrel, she had no broken bones, but she did have several splinters and bruises on her body. She did all of this to raise money to help her sick mother, but a child stole all the money while no one was watching. Your whole class has to give a presentation. Is it better to go first or last? Your friend Big decides to go first. Luckily, the teacher gives him a good grade because there's no one to compare him to. On the other hand, Dan chooses to go last, and he's been nervous the entire class. Plus, he realized that in every presentation, they've already said several points he was going to mention. I recommend going second or third. That way, you can watch the first presenter and avoid the most common mistakes. A man was found dead on the beach without his wallet or any identification, but the police discovered a small piece of paper in his pocket with the words Tamam Shud, which means dead in Persian. The torn page matched a very rare book that was mysteriously found in a car parked nearby, and inside the book there was a phone number and a code for a riddle. The police kept the body and published the code in the newspapers, but no one ever successfully identified the body or solved the book's riddle. How to always win at Guess Who? Simple questions like does your character wear glasses, have a mustache, or is bald are useless, because each attribute always appears on 5 different characters. With a bit of luck, you'll figure out your character in 8 turns. But if you ask about 2 attributes at once, you'll guess it in just 5 turns. For example, does your character have glasses or a mustache? Does your character have blue eyes or a hat? Finally, don't confuse or with and, because you will lose the game. If you stick your tongue on a frozen metal pole, you'll probably get stuck. Look, when your warm, wet tongue touches the cold metal, your saliva freezes instantly. The metal pulls heat from your tongue faster than your body takes to calibrate the temperature, causing the saliva to freeze again and again. The only way to escape is by melting the ice with warm water. In 2018, a group of friends was exploring a cave in Thailand when suddenly the tunnels flooded with water and they became completely trapped. They were more than 3 kilometers underground and the flooding had filled the cave tunnels with contaminated water. 10 days later, a rescue team found them but faced many difficulties navigating through the tunnel, and tragically, one of the rescuers died during the mission. For this reason, they could not find a way to bring the children out safely. Their last option was to inject a sedative to make them sleep, put a diving mask on them, and carry their unconscious bodies through the tunnels one by one. The 12 children and their coach were successfully rescued after 18 days underground. The bus doors suddenly closed and trapped her backpack, but the driver didn't notice. The bus sped up, dragging her along the road. The girl tried to run to keep up with the speed of the bus, but she lost her balance and fell, being dragged along the asphalt for more than 300 meters. Another driver honked the horn to get the bus driver's attention. The girl suffered from serious injuries and burns all over her body and had to undergo several surgeries. The driver was fired and the parents sued him for being an idiot, but the girl managed to recover and walk again. When the Titanic hit the iceberg, several holes opened on one side of the ship, causing water to flood in. But the ship was designed with special compartments to hold large amounts of water in case of flooding, and if only 4 of those compartments were damaged, the ship could stay afloat. But the iceberg ruptured 6 of them in the front, and they began flooding with water rapidly. This caused the bow of the ship to sink into the sea, which made the rear part of the ship lift into the air. Finally, the middle section couldn't bear the weight and broke in half, and both halves of the ship sank to the bottom of the ocean.